impressions of the first day?
Well, we, just trying to teach the young guys a lot of things and taking it kind of slow because we had a conditioning test and, they're kind of wore out, so I didn't want to pull any muscles. But we'll look forward to getting a rest day and then full week of practice next week.
How do they look conditioning-wise?
The best condition that since I've been here. Everybody, I don't think anybody didn't make it. Maybe one or two guys, but that's the first time I think that's ever happened.
How good with Marcus Hunt and Taylor Thompson having their surgeries and injuries and all, to have two defensive ends back, how much will that be for the defense?
We're glad they had a real good rehab. I think they're both, if you ask them, they're feeling better than they've ever felt. They both kind of played with those injuries last year, so they were obviously pretty good with the injuries, and now that they don't have to worry about it, I think they'll even be better.
How do you feel when you see publications picking you guys to win Conference USA?
Well, in 2000 they picked us to win the WAC when I was in Hawaii, and we finished dead last. And they've picked us dead last in '99, and we won the WAC. So I don't put too much into it, but it's good to know that people are starting to think about you anyway.
Obviously, the expectations are a result of success, but how do you feel about the kids handling these expectations?
Well, we'll find out. I mean, we didn't do a great job last year of making plays after the success of 2009, but you've had 2 years of it. We had a great off season. We got a good group of young kids in here, and the belief that they're better and the belief that they can is there. So now we just got to go do it.
Do you think Terrence Holgerson will be ready to make an impact pretty quickly, even with having?
Yeah, he'll be. He practiced in the spring, about 7 or 8 practices, and then he's a smart kid. Started for us for 3 years, so I would anticipate that he'll make the transition.
You got a couple other guys back this year after a year off. Josh Laribas, Torlin Pittman. How much do they add to your line on offense and defensive side?
Josh Laribas is big time. He doesn't even look like the same guy. I think he's lost almost 70 pounds, 65 pounds. He can run. He's strong. I thought he was one of our best linemen, 2 years ago. Torlin is already tested and he's ready to play. I mean, even though he's been out, I think he's more appreciative right now of just being back here than anybody. And he benched, I think, over 400, and he made the runs, and he's ready to roll.
You had Aldrick Robinson, 14 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Now he's in the NFL. Who replaces that deep threat in your offense?
Well, we felt like Keenan really made some strides last year, and he's a 4-3 guy, 4-4 guy. And Derek Thompson really looks fast for the first day. I mean, so I would anticipate those two guys will, and then just off the first day of practice, there's a couple of those freshman kids look like they can run pretty good. So, I feel like we're going to be in pretty good shape with some veterans, and we got some good young guys behind them.
You got 6 senior offensive linemen. Is that automatically going to be the strength of this team, or the strength of the offense anyway?
Well, our offensive line played really well last year, I thought, and they'll play better this year even. You don't do anything if you don't have those guys, and having a veteran group of guys really is helpful. So we feel like, we're in good shape there. We need to do one more serious recruiting class, because we're going to lose those guys. So the next class needs to be focused on O-line. We've got some good kids behind them, but we need more.
A couple of years ago, Kyle Padron gets kicked into the deep end sort of as a freshman. Where is he now in your eyes in terms of his development and the progress you want to see?
Well, I think he's worked as hard as anybody that could possibly work, and with him, he is doing it in the games, and his stats have been pretty good. I mean, I think he's broken school records already, but at this time, at his point in his career, he's played now a year and a half of football in the offense, and that's usually about when it kicks in and they take it even to another level. So hopefully he'll do that this year.
Zach Lyon last year led the conference in rushing by a pretty wide margin, despite hurting his back against UTEP, I think, and he played out the rest of the season with it. How is he feeling now, and do you modify his workload in camp because of that?
He's feeling fine, and I don't modify it. He'll be fine. I mean, if you deal with it if something starts to hurt. Right now, he's fine, so I don't anticipate that he'll experience that again.